Alright peeps, you know what's up. You saw talent from the six. You know we had to get the rest of the world in the mix. The urban franchise, Tony Montana. Gonna sit at the desk for guessing. Show you what they're about to. Tell you who they are. Let them promote what they got going on. And show you guys how awesome they are. Cause if they weren't awesome, they wouldn't be on the show. It is Down to Talk with Tony Montana, baby. We have the most, and 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 we have the most.
What is going on, peeps? I am the urban franchise, Tony Montana, and today we have a guest who got started in reality TV. She won a house. Then she moved on and started doing some mainstream acting, but now she's dominating the realtor world as one of the most successful people in Toronto. Raluca, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me and for the lovely introduction.
So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a married mother with 2 children. I actually married my high school sweetheart.
Right on.
Yes, we've been together for a very long time. Met here in East York and Toronto. And I'm a realtor. I have a son with special needs. So we use the fact that he's on the spectrum as a platform for a lot of fundraising, and we try to bring awareness to the cause a lot of times. I love to cook all the time.
Right on.
I've done some reality TV. Now I've kind of gotten to acting. I recently just did a movie. We wrapped up in the fall.
Oh, nice.
And outside of that, I cook, and cook.
Okay, all right. We got a lot to talk about today, people. So let's wind it back. Let's go to the start. Reality TV. You won a house.
Yes.
Oh, tell us about that. What show were you on that you won this house?
Okay, so it was on HDTV.
Yeah.
It was Home to Win in the season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually applied for the first season. I never made it through.
Mm-hmm.
And in the second season, my mom sent it to me. She's like, oh, just apply. And I was like, fine, I don't want to disappoint you. And I started making it through. And, you know, they love the story with my child wanting to be by the water because it's very therapeutic for him.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually use that for speech therapy with him.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I won the house.
Right on. So how was that experience? Like, to give the peeps an idea of how the reality TV world, what was the process of applying, getting accepted? What was all that like?
It was actually a lot harder than people think.
Yeah.
You have to do the initial video. Then after that, we had to do a lot of follow-ups. We had to fill out paperwork, background checks.
Mm-hmm.
Several more family videos had to be sent, Zoom interviews. So it was a process over several months.
Oh, wow. Like, how long would you, how many months from when you first applied to when you started filming?
About 3 months.
Wow.
About 3 months.
That was a long process.
It was.
So when you got in front of the camera, what was it like? What was the vibe like on the HDTV set?
Oh, they're so nice.
Yeah?
Everybody there is so nice.
Right on.
And it was crazy because you did these 12-hour days.
Yeah.
Because you actually had to do the contest. We were there for an entire weekend. You had to do a full contest.
Yeah.
And they were upbeat. After 12 hours, they're still like, oh, let's go. Let's do this. And do you need anything? Do you want anything? Super, super nice people.
Right on.
Yeah. Especially the crew. The crew there took care of us so well.
Yeah.
And the cast, I mean, we got to meet a lot of people like Mike Holmes, Brian Balmer, Sarah Balmer.
Yeah.
Everybody from HGTV.
Yeah.
You would think because they're so big that they're going to ignore you. They
Mm-hmm.
were lovely to everybody, including the crew, including us. It was a very nice experience.
That's really great to hear. Mike Holmes is a huge guy. His Homes on Homes, I was a big fan of that. It helped me do a lot of renovations in my house, that show.
Yeah,
So
nice.
it's great to hear that he's actually great to everyone on the set. Now, do you still live in that house?
No.
Yeah.
That house was actually in Havelock.
Yeah.
And there were no centers around there for my son for his therapy.
Oh. Okay.
Yes. So because of that, we had to make the decision to actually sell the house.
Okay.
I would have loved to have lived in it.
Yeah.
But we had to go where we could get him the most help.
When selling it, was the fact that it was on a reality TV show help it get sold faster, or?
Of course. It was one of the big selling points. They actually advertised the fact that it was on Home to Win, and the person that bought it turned it into an Airbnb.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they try to capitalize even more on the fact that it was from the show, from the HGTV show. Yes.
So it's a complete and total tourist spot now.
Yes.
Okay.
I've actually thought about going back. I'm like,
Yeah.
I should just book it for the weekend. You know?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Would it be weird now?
So, from there, you delved into acting. Tell us a bit how that transition happened.
And I just enjoyed it so much. And
Yeah.
I figured if I keep getting picked, maybe there's something about me that, you know, and then the pandemic hit and was a little bit slow. So I said, why not? I'm not doing anything right now. Let's just try it out. So I went with an agency with Carolyn's Model and Talent from Mississauga. Amazing.
Right on.
People. And I've just been going ever since.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's actually been going really well. Wrapped up a movie called Baby Fever.
Oh, right on.
And if you have a chance to actually interview the writer of it,
Yeah.
Pascal, she is incredible. And she wrote it, and it's about trauma after a miscarriage and telling the story of the woman, and it's a psychological thriller. And she just wrote it in such a lovely way, and to bring it to the media, and it's something that it's very hard for women to go through, and you don't see it very much in film.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. As I said, we wrapped it in September. It should come out next year. Then post-production right now.
Oh, okay, right on. What else have you worked on? What other projects have you worked on?
Mostly commercial work. So there's some things for like Manulife, Walmart. I just did something for Connect Hearing with Daryl Sittler.
Oh, nice.
From hockey, yes.
Right on.
Incredible guy as well. He was very humble, you know, and he showed up on set, and before anybody even said anything, he's like, "Do you guys want something signed?" And husband was a huge hockey fan.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Sure, take it." And he was just very nice. It's nice to see that somebody that was so high in hockey and revered is still a nice person even years later.
It's always amazing to see how down to earth some people are. There's a lot of people who make it to the top of the world, but they're so humble. It just like it completely blows your mind away when you work with them.
Yeah. Oh, it's incredible when you come across people like that, because you expect them to be jerks, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
You instantly go in with that assumption, but then it's like you're instantly surprised, which is always a great feeling.
It's always lovely, yes.
So jumping into the industry, did you have any ambitions? Was there like any reason to jump into it?
I think I was just more testing the waters.
Yeah.
I've always been a creative person, and I found that it kind of scratched that itch for me a little bit.
Right on.
So I didn't know if I would even make it anywhere. I do want to make it in film, if I could focus on that, if I don't get my own cooking show, right? But I can't say I have a direction that I'm going towards. I'm kind of trying everything out.
No,
see what I like.
That's the way. You got to dip your toe in everything to find out what's right for you. That's what I find with the industry.
Exactly, and I figure maybe I'll find my niche, or maybe my niche will find me.
Yeah, exactly. It'll come when it's meant to come. No, you're talking about how you were very motivated by how your son's on the spectrum, and it's helped you do a lot of charities. It's just like, would you want to further talk about that a bit more?
So what I wish people would know more about autism, I wish they were more educated on about the fact that if you meet one person with autism, you met just one person with autism. Every child on the spectrum is different. I haven't come across in any of the networks that we have of the parents of a child that's very similar.
Yeah.
They might cross over in behaviors or things, but I wish people would just get more educated on that. And we have come across a lot of people that just assume, because especially with a child that's nonverbal, that they're stupid. And the stigma around that should really be lifted, because they're incredibly smart.
Yeah.
For example, my son has photographic memory.
Yeah.
So he can go to a movie that he saw 3 years ago, scroll to some scene that you didn't even know existed, and point to something and be like, "I want this." And you're like, "How do you remember? I don't remember that movie."
Yeah.
So you just have to find what they're smart with. And I wish there was better funding for it.
Yeah.
And we just really try to bring awareness to it as much as possible.
That's the thing, peeps. Is like I have a younger brother and a niece who's on the spectrum as well, and this is like one thing that's really been amazing to me is seeing how open the world has become and the understanding that's coming to the world. The ignorance that there was in the past, that if someone was there, they would just like, "Oh, they're dumb," blah blah blah, has been left. And just like I find my younger brother and me have an amazing relationship because I treat him like an equal. I'll never treat him like less. He's my brother, and I love him to death. So it's just like I don't care anything. It's just he's a human being. He deserves to be treated like a human being. And I love to see the fact that we're moving in the direction in the world where people on the spectrum are getting that equality that they never did in the past, where they were pushed to the back at one point. But now they're just like brought up. Everyone's holding their hands. They're with the rest of us. And I'm looking forward to the future solely because I'm seeing that acceptance and that ignorance in the past is slowly but surely going away.
You know, that's definitely wonderful to see. You know, when all the political stuff was going on with Ford, with whatever, with the funding, with the liberals and everything, seeing the community rally together and march together, and it was inspiring, right? And with the signs up, and not even just the people that were going through it, but the support from all of their families.
Yeah.
That was something that was, you know, breathtaking, awe-inspiring for me.
It's great to see. It's just like I remember in the past there was like a whole thing where certain parents would like, they would try to hide. I'm glad to see you're like very open. Like right when we set up the interview, you mentioned it. So I was like, great, we're going to definitely mention that in the interview because this is like, you took it with pride. You didn't just like, it's not something you're trying to hide. You love your son, you're proud of him. And more parents, the rest of you out there, I hope more of you like get to that type of thinking too. Because the world needs that type of thinking in parents. You have a child in this world, love them because they're your child. Who else is going to love them other than you? They need to get that from home before they go out into the world.
Completely appreciate what you're saying, yes. And the fact that you're a sibling and you support your brother so much makes me think of my daughter and the journey she has to go through, and she's younger and she kind of acts like the older child.
Yeah.
and I started co-writing a book with her, and it's all about her journey. It's a children's book, and navigating her brother, because she used to ask, he can't do something. Is he broken? Is he and just trying to teach her that he's not broken. He thinks in a completely different way, and having her accept that, not be embarrassed by it, and kind of embrace it. So that's a little project that we're working on the side right now as well.
Right on.
So.
What's the name of the book?
We don't have a name yet.
Yeah.
Right now, well, we're playing with Broken Robot. That's what's probably going to be.
Peeps, stay on the lookout for that book. I'm pushing any kind of material, books, movies, stories. The world needs to hear these stories. The world needs to see that perspective more. It's just like, for us to be a better world, everyone needs to be accepted. So I 100% promote that. I endorse it 100%.
Well, I appreciate it. If it can help one family that's going through it, it's kind of all that matters.
Absolutely. So, like, some of the charities you work with, why don't you talk a bit about them? Like, who have you worked with?
So we work with local parents. I can't say that we work with any major charity, but we work with local parents, so we do a lot of donations, and as I said, we more try to work on bringing awareness.
Okay.
And having a community of groups and chat groups that supports one another. So I don't know about charitable in that way, but it's just more about unity.
Yeah.
And keeping everybody together. And, like sometimes we have products or something that I bought for my son, sensory items or something, and they're very, very expensive.
Yeah.
So you kind of work as a community and you give to another child because this one's outgrown it, and you just create that around the people around you.
Right on. That's where it starts. A group of parents coming together to build something. So how many things in this world has started off that way?
Probably a lot. All the great things, I would say, right?
Absolutely. Because there's no one more passionate than a parent.
No.
That's the absolute truth. No one is more passionate than a parent. So what else are you working on? You just wrapped on a movie.
Yes.
What is next on the horizon for you?
Commercials.
Commercial?
Yes, it's commercial work right now. So I have applied for a few movies. I don't know if I'm going to hear back. Fingers crossed. I'm always trying.
Right on.
But right at the moment, it's just more commercial work.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's anything you want to write home about, kind of thing. But I'm enjoying it. So every time I go on set, it's a different experience. It's a different director. For one of the best experiences I actually had was during doing a music video, and wonderful, wonderful young director Oliver Silanthiel. If you look him up, he actually does mini films from his music videos.
Oh, nice.
And I thought going into it, because he's so young, he's only in his 20s.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what to expect. I thought it was just going to be a joke of a day kind of thing.
Yeah.
The way he was able to get me to focus, and the way he brought things out of me as an actor that I didn't even know I had, was amazing. I went home on a high. I called my husband on the way home. I was like, I can't believe it. It was a 2-hour drive, and I was flying in my car.
Right on.
It was just such a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
So, this new generation that's coming up, the things that they can do with the camera, behind a camera, all the power to them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The next generation in film is really, really... One of my first interviews, jumping into the interviews, was with an artist who was 18. But the projects he was working on just, like, completely blew my mind away. It's just like, I have so much faith and hope in the future because I've seen what they're doing. What kind of music video was it? Do you know the artist? What genre of music was it?
So I don't know if I can say what the band is, but it's a band in Kingston, and it's going to be their debut single.
Oh, okay,
so
right
it was
on.
rock. It's rock.
Okay,
yes.
rock. Okay,
yes.
right on. I'm a rocker.
Are you?
Yeah, okay. I listen to everything, but it's my funnest concerts have been in rock concerts.
Okay. I haven't been to many, but I do the same thing. If you actually put my playlist in the car, it'll go everything from rap to Mickey Mouse to rock to country or jazz.
Okay, right on.
Right? I like to be adventurous to music.
You gotta be. Like, I've said this in previous interviews. I found the people who listen to everything, who can enjoy everything out there, are the most creative people out there. Because if you can enjoy anyone else's art, that means the art you make is going to be above anything else.
Oh, that's a good way to think about it.
Because you just have that, you can find out appreciation for anything. What you come out with is going to be appreciated by many too.
I like that thought, actually.
So, you're in film. What is your dream project? Like, I know you don't really have a niche or direction you're going in, but if there's one type of role that you've always wanted, what would it be?
I want to be on Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah?
Make me a Martha, make me an Ofred, make me anything. I just want to be on that show.
Right on. Hey, Handmaid's Tale. Raluca would really love... Oh, did I just butcher your name?
Yes, it's Raluca.
Raluca. I'm very sorry, and I asked her before we filmed, so I'm very sorry. But Raluca, Handmaid's Tale, Raluca, look up the name, hire her. everyone go and comment and say they want to see her in Handmaid's Tale.
I love that show. I
Yeah.
am obsessed with it. The cinematography, the roles, the script, everything about it.
Right on.
Just the story that they tell.
Yeah.
I haven't read the books though, so
No?
maybe I'm obsessed with the show, not the books, so maybe I should go backwards now.
Right on.
But yes, that's my dream role.
Okay. Okay. I have this series called Fat Kid Tuesday. You've watched it.
Seen it, yes. I'm a foodie. I love it.
Where would you recommend me going for a future episode of Fat Kid Tuesday?
Ginger's on Queen Street.
Yeah?
It's at Queen and Duncan. It's a Vietnamese place.
Right
and
on.
they have the most amazing food. It's a great balance with spicy, fresh herbs, something pickled. Definitely, Ginger's.
Okay, Vietnamese food is one of my favorite foods. You gingers, you are definitely going to see me. So, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
It was an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Is there anywhere everyone can follow you on social media, or is there anything that you're promoting? Just let the camera know.
You can just follow me on my Instagram at raluca.urlea. And outside of that, I'm not promoting anything else except for myself. And if you need me to buy a house, I can help you with that.
Yeah, peeps, you're in the market in Toronto. She's definitely the lady to go to. I'll have the link to her Instagram in the description. Thank you
I have
again.
my realtor website as well.
Yeah,
if they want that.
We'll
yes.
put both of them in there so you guys can get in touch with her. Thank you so much again for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure to interview you. That's it for us for now, peeps. Stay good and keep it blitz.
The urban franchise, Tony Montana. Gonna sit at the desk for guessing. Show you what they're about to. Tell you who they are. Let them promote what they got going on. And show you guys how awesome they are. Cause if they weren't awesome, they wouldn't be on the show. It is down to talk with Tony Montana, baby. We have the most, and 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 we have the most.